So everyone, thank you for joining us. And I want to welcome Tony from Exodus. Tony, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
We've known each other for a few years now. We're doing this over Zoom instead of
Zoom, yeah. No, that's the world right now. That's the world, Lisa.
Yeah, so basically, one thing I love about Exodus, besides the fact that they have so many options out there, is that a great deal of them truly lend themselves to small group travel, which is something that a lot of people are interested in right now. So without taking any more time away from you, Tony, the screen is yours.
All right, let's do this. Why not? I'm here now. I'm going to show you some fun stuff. First of all, welcome everybody that's here. Yesterday, I'm in Toronto. I don't know where everybody is, but yesterday was 5 degrees. It was sunny. So should this have gone on yesterday, I was like, Lisa, can we do this another time, please? Because it's really beautiful. Today, snowing, gloomy, perfect day to be here, right? So basically, I'm going to talk to you today about what I've been hearing for the last 6-7 months from agents and from the people. It's like, I'm excited for travel. And I think I'm going to lean towards small groups and experiences. And that's what this whole conversation today is all about, right? So the first thing is Exodus. If no one's heard of Exodus, or maybe, yeah, I've heard of Exodus, I just don't know exactly what you do, you come to the right place. Yesterday, we celebrated our 47th birthday. So we've been around for 47 years doing some fun stuff. And that video right there, Lisa, is the actual footage. So think back, 1974, before VHS, Betamax, and all that weird stuff. This is the actual footage of our documentary by the BBC that captured the first ever tour. Look at that truck. That's this isn't like on graphics on Adobe or nothing like that, or on Photoshop. This is the real tour. So we went 1974 London down to Afghanistan, all the way across to the Himalayas on the first ever tour. Imagine that kind of adventure. And when I speak to you about adventure travel, people, I want to, I'm going to clarify what adventure means, because it freaks people out. Don't get me wrong, right? It's like, hey, I'm an adventure tour leader. Like, oh my God, you okay? Do you have insurance? Like, that's not what it means, right? So basically with Exodus, again, 47 years we've been around, the best, and I'll explain to you all these wonderful things about small groups, how we operate, and why I truly believe it's going to be the future of travel, small groups and so on. But basically, everything that we do doesn't matter. We're planning a trip, we're operating a trip, anything we do comes with a responsible mind of responsible travel mindset, I should say, where we want to make sure that when we visit this location, this city, this village, and what have you, they're going to benefit from our visits. Hence why we stay in locally owned hotels, Lisa, why we eat at locally owned restaurants. Nothing wrong with the chain hotels. I mean, I'm sure a Ritz-Carlton in Singapore would be nice, but we'd rather give you the experience of equivalent 4 or 5 or 3-star hotel, but it's locally owned. So that's the thing. So does our visit benefit the people there? Number 2, what are we doing with the planet? Because you know what I mean? Like, we can go around and we can have everything plastic and plastic and plastic and plastic. And next thing you know, we're not helping the environment. So we want to make sure that the people, the places, and the planet all benefit from our operations. So always keep that in mind. And I'll mention that as we speak today. Now, about 2 years ago, we launched our first, our foundation, which is quite nice, where through donations and from either clients or ourselves, we help projects that some you might see and some that you may not see, like help the conservation of tigers, for example, in India. You'll see that because the tiger population will grow and grow and grow. And other projects where you may not be able to see, for example, like planting 4,000 apple and apricot trees, like the pictures on the right-hand side. These are things that we're give money to because, again, we want to be able to help the community that's nearby. So lots of great things, again, with the foundation, is that we really want to make sure that, listen, our visit is wonderful. We love taking pictures. We want to make sure, give it the experience, right? At least give it the experience. But we don't want to be those people. Like, they always come in here week after week and they always eat in their, by themselves, and they don't share the wealth. Let's be honest, the wealth, right? So that's kind of what I'm saying to you, is that we have that now. So Exodus, I'm confused. What do we do? Because there's a lot of talking from me and I don't even know what we do, right? So simple. Small group adventure travel. Now, small group, meaning the majority of our tours will cap at 16, which is nice. So still small-ish groups, right? So it's typical that we get couples, yourself, Lisa, friend, partner, whoever, go and join a tour that's already departing. That's the majority of our operations comes from singles or couples joining a group that's already going. I will also mention that we have this private groups, and we'll talk about that later on. But basically, if you have, hey, I got 6 friends that want to go and travel together, by all means, you have your own little bubble. Things are going to be different, right? So, but the average size, again, like I said, is 12 people. So very healthy small groups. The average age for us is 53. Now, I want to let you know, adventure travel, it freaks people out, right? Are you kayaking between hotels? Are you bungee jumping to dinner? Like, how wild are you, right? I'm like, no, we're not that wild. What kind of insurance is going to do that, cover you? No. Adventure literally means experiences. What do you want to experience? And today you're going to see like, okay, so I don't need my Fitbit or to check my blood pressure on every tour, because it's not like that. Trust me, I love my life, and I don't want to be running around and climbing mountains all day long, right? Now, we know who comes on our trips. We want to know who leads these trips, right? So right there is you have a video of some of our leaders that have been around for 30 plus years. We have this lady, Valerie, out in the Himalayas. She's been trekking for 35 years, leading our tours. So you're going to get quality leaders, people that are local, that are locals, that know this stuff. That guy right there, Jose, in the Sierra de Aitana in Spain, he designed all the maps that the local community and the local government use for the Sierra de Aitana trekking. So it's people that are very heavily invested in our company. Put it this way, right? At the end of the day, they get graded. People tell them, hey, listen, this person did a really good job, and so on. So quality over quantity, I want to make sure. So that's the way we're going to be always with them. So that's we know who comes on our trips. We know who leads you. The question is like, where do we spend the night? Now, this is the fun part, Lisa. Now, I mentioned to you earlier, guess what? We like to stay at locally owned hotels because we want to give back to the community. And that is very true. So we have everything from 3 to 4 to 5-star hotels, depending on what you want. We got premium tours. Absolutely. And then we have our standard tours, and our standard tours are, 3 to 4-star, depending on where you're going. And again, any questions about what hotels are they staying at? What are they doing? Lisa, you have all of our information, where we spend the nights in hotels and what we do. And trust me, it's wonderful. So, but the range of the accommodation, this is what I love, from chateaus, converted farmhouses, Bedouin camps. We might do camping on some trips, but that's because you chose it. Don't yell at me. You chose to go on this trip, right? For example, to again, some of the other fun stuff, 700-year-old castles, ice hotels. I mean, anything, mountain lodges that pretty much gives you that feeling of being in that wonderful area, right? Nothing wrong, once again, with staying at a 5-star Ritz-Carlton. I don't know if I'll see the difference between one here in Toronto and one in Bogota or one in Beijing. I have no idea, right? So we want to make sure, and let's be honest, right? Locally owned hotels, you have the owners there who said, hey, how's it going? Welcome, check into the hotel and so on. You're with Exodus. What kind of treatment do you think you're gonna be getting, right? The owners are greeting you at the door, as opposed to some wealthy investor in another country, like, keep them coming, you know what I mean? So anyways, what I do want to show you, not the crocodile here, but I want to show you a little bit of the accommodation. So for example, at the very top is the rainforest lodge that we use and support over in Costa Rica, where they themselves have saved over 14,000 hectares of land and to replant and to reuse. So we want to make sure, okay, if we're going to be heading there with our tours, are you going to do something about the community, right? So this is one example. And at the bottom, because it's gloomy out, it's winter, it's gross, this is what the agriturismo, or the converted farmhouses in Italia or Italy, it's all about. This is Tuscany. Imagine, this is our base for the entire week as we explore the hills of Tuscany. And I'll talk about these center-based trips. But guess what? You're not packing, you're not moving, you're not shifting, you're just staying put in the same one hotel, right? Not too bad at all, right? Not too bad at all. So anyway, so in terms of the adventures, like I said to you, I do have this image up here of me climbing a little bit of a rock. All these trips that we have are graded from a level 1 up to a level 9, depending on what you're looking for, right? We have soft adventure, like a food tour in Sicily. How strenuous is this? Can you eat? Can you stay awake after pasta? That's all it is, right? So that's a level 1. And then of course you start doing a little bit of cycling. I'm like, well, there's a couple of hills in Croatia. What do you want me to do? I hope you read the notes that Lisa gave you, because it tells you you got to go up at least 10 kilometers in the next hour. That's the way it is, right? And then of course we have those ones that are, hey, I got a big birthday coming up next year. I'm excited for this. And next thing you're doing a 9+. Who are these people? I hope they have their own YouTube channel, because to be honest with you, that's quite a bit. So we have everything from a level 1 all the way to a level 9. So I'm really, really stoked for that. But so what I wanted to do first is I want to talk some active travel, because I do believe active travel, especially this year, like stay home, don't go anywhere, you can't do anything. How do we mentally stimulate ourselves, right, through exercise? And the demand for our active travel trips are incredible. And again, active, anything from a level 1, hey, I can do that. Hey, can you imagine walking the Prosecco region and walking 6 kilometers a day? Is that it? Yeah, I can do that, right? Well, then there's other tours where it's a bit more demanding, right? So I'm going to talk to you about walking and hiking depending on the grade. But here's the cool thing. There's other tours where oh yeah, somebody's here. If you can just mute yourself, that'd be okay. But here's the great thing about our walking tours, right? So we're walking and hiking. Some of these are center-based, meaning you don't move from hotel to hotel. You stay put in the same one hotel all week long, and you do your day trips and you come back to the same one hotel, which is important. The other stuff is the point to point, 1 night here, 2 nights here, 1 night here, 2 nights here, and so on. So let me explain to you. So for example, Walking the Amalfi Coast is and has been our best-selling tour for easily over a dozen years. And for the same reason that, hey, you know what? We are staying in the same one hotel all week long. So this is it's locally owned too. That's one of the sons. The both of them are right there with the grandma. That's her. That's the real deal. She's not a great actress. That's her right there making all the breakfast cakes and so on. And you have that family feel. So this is your home for the entire week as you explore the Amalfi Coast. Now you get to visit the party, Amalfi, Positano, Naples if you want, Capri. But we're not spending the nights at the party. We'll come and spend the nights in a little place called Bomerano. Like, where? Bomerano is a village with, I just checked, Lisa, to make sure, 7,600 people live there. 7,600. So let's go to the party, make all the noise, do what you're gonna do, and then I want a nice, comfortable sleep at night, right? That's the beautiful thing. So center base. This is the trip that I did approximately two summers ago. No, 3 now, because we're in 2021. Okay, so Mont Blanc highlights. Holy! If nobody's ever heard of Mont Blanc, I thought it was just a pen or something, but it's Western Europe's highest peak. Mont Blanc highlights stay put in the same one hotel in Chamonix, France, which held the first Winter Olympics. I didn't know that. And you go explore the best parts of France. And of course, you go through the tunnel. That's about 11 kilometers through the mountain. Off you go. And you start exploring the side of Italy as well. So center base is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful place. That llama was really in Mont Blanc. This is not Peru. This is Mont Blanc. And let me tell you this right now, it was superb. If no one's heard of Mont Blanc, or I think I heard of it, I don't know much about it, please put it on your radar, because I'm telling you right now, you will not be the same. I'm not telling you what I do here because I'm wearing a sweater telling you, hey, it's my first trip. No. I was not the same. I became a hiker after this because it was incredible, right? Now, look at this, Lisa. Normally, our tours are 14 people. But because, again, something's going on this year, right? I totally get it. We have shrunk our group size to 8 to keep them healthy and beautiful. So 8 people maximum on that tour, which is great. And this is one that I did a couple of years ago, heading to the Dolomites, so just about 2.5 hours north of Venice. The same thing. This was my first ever actual center-based hotel. I've never done that before. I've always moving and moving and moving. This time, like, wow, I can hang my socks. I can use the safe. Wow, this is phenomenal. I love this, right? Now, this is a 4-star hotel, locally owned. That's the family right there, right? Not just some random stock image. And look at this hotel, which again, is beautiful. And here's the crazy thing. The lady there, she is a Michelin star chef. Guess what that means, Lisa? Guess what that means? That's right. 5 courses every night. Oh no, please keep me away. Now, I get it. It's Italy, you know, that fun stuff, but I'm a vegetarian. I'm a vegan. That's a true story. Can I survive? Absolutely. They're like, hey, you guys have your own little table, the vegans, the vegetarians, the pescatarians, I'm allergic to tomatoes and a lot of fun stuff. And everybody that's regular, let's call it, you can have that. So they cater to you. But again, Michelin star restaurant on location, which is quite nice. And look at the hotel here, just to give you an idea. And it has a great amenities as well, because I'm talking like wellness center, a pool. And when it's really hot out, let's go upstairs and enjoy that sunshine before it goes away. So we use the same property when it comes to our winter to do our snowshoeing trips, because we have trips in the summer and winter time. So that's just a little bit of a preview. We have over 40 of them. I cannot and will not speak about 40 tours because people will be, I gotta go, it's lunchtime, right? So that's center base. But now we got point to point, meaning 1 night here, 2 nights here, 1 night here. So look at this one, level 1. Day 2, you're doing 5 kilometers. It's nothing. 3 islands, go visit the Greek islands in a different way as opposed to the Mediterranean cruise that gets you from A to B, right? So Greek islands, the Inca Trail, oh, one of my personal favorite ones. I used to be a tour leader a few years ago, and my first ever experience of leading groups was heading to Peru. And once a month, Lisa, this is what they tell me. It's like, oh yeah, you got to go and you got to go on the Inca Trail. I'm like, good. Is it one day, 3 hours? Like, no, 4 nights. Like, 4 nights. Let's go. And I could not believe how wonderful and why this Inca Trail is so beautiful, right? So we have options that we do the classic Inca Trail, and then we have ones that is in comfort, so a little bit more special. But here's the great thing, Lisa, what we do that's different than everybody else is this. The Inca Trail portion itself, everybody does it in 4 nights. So 1, 2, 3 nights camping. We do the same thing, 3 nights camping. On the 4th day, everybody gets up, goes, you've been camping for 3 days. You haven't had a shower, so welcome baby wipes, okay? You get up at 4 in the morning, you have breakfast, then you walk down to Machu Picchu. You're there at 6:15, see the sun gate, and then you have your second breakfast because you're tired, and you have a guided tour, and you got to get out of here by 1 p.m. Then you got to train. So it's a big, long day, right? We do things differently that day. Yes, we get up in the morning and all that fun stuff, and once we head to Machu Picchu, we don't do the tour. We'll spend the night in Aguascalientes. We'll go stay at a hotel. Do you remember what a bed looks like? Do you remember what a shower feels like? There you go. Then the next morning, you get up and do the full guided tour, the whole experience, and then go back to Cusco. So we do it in 5 days versus everybody else does it in 4, so it's more comfortable. And of course, we have other treks along the way in Peru. But here's the fun thing. We're talking about responsible travel. Now check this out. This guy, what is he doing? He came on our Inca Trail trips in 2017, and he loved it so much. Then he heard about something that porters have never seen Machu Picchu. I will say that again. If you're a porter, you've never seen Machu Picchu. Imagine being a safari driver. Lion, okay. You've never seen one of the big 5. Never. This is the footage of the first ever porters that have ever seen Machu Picchu, outside of a postcard, of course, because we said, hey, it's not fair that all these porters, the hardest working people out there, by the way, get to carry our stuff for 4 days, and they've never seen Machu Picchu. Why? Oh, logistics and blah, blah, blah. No, that is, we're not doing that. So we capture that in this actual film called Carried Away. And I can tell you this right now, we have taken all 200 porters that lead tours for Exodus to go see Machu Picchu. I don't care if it costs us money. I don't care if we could have spent the money on marketing. No, give back to the communities, right? So this is this is when back in the day when Discman were around, right? Supposed to MP3 players. That at the bottom right is what porters carry. 20 kilos worth of our stuff. They cook for us. They put up our tents. They do everything. So to the porters of Peru, you're most wonderful people out there. So I've done Inca Trail, I think about 11 times. And let me tell you, it's quite fun. But so from, places that like remote in the Andes to like South Africa, walking in wildlife. Oh, I know. This scares me. No, you go and do, instead of game driving, you're game walking. It's safe, of course. Everybody comes back. It's not one of these things like, haha, joke's on you, the slowest person. No. So here you get to combine a little bit of walking with a little bit of wildlife. And of course, you're in South Africa, right? So you'll enjoy some beautiful wine and so on. So I'm just here showing you a range of some of the trips that we have. And of course, the Camino de Santiago, which is very popular. You can do it guided and, spoiler alert, self-guided. That's coming up right now, right? And of course, we have anything from 8 days up to 13 days when it comes to the Camino itself, right? So it's such a great thing. This one here, it's like, but Tony, you said I was gonna walk 6 kilometers. Yeah, that's one tour. This one here, you see at the bottom, 25 kilometers on day 4, because that's the tour you chose, right? So it is what it is, right? So here's just some of the reviews of people that came on our trips last fall, September, October, Italy mostly. But here they are explaining to us how great the tours were and keeping it safe and, sanitizing our hands and the whole fun stuff. So active travel, walking, guided, check. Next one comes to cycling. So if anybody is a cyclist out there, or you have a friend that's part of a cycling club and so on, do mention this to them, right? So our cycling trips, we give you the bike. You don't have to bring yours. If you bring your own, then we would discount, but you take it away, you take it apart and you put it back together at destination, right? And we give you a vehicle support, which is quite nice. So that time you're up the hill and you're not feeling good, or I don't know what all you can drink wine meant. I'm like, yeah, whatever. You can't pedal the next day, get in the van, relax, you'll be fine, right? So we give you vehicle support, we give you the bike, and if you want extra comfort, we also have some e-bikes or electronic bikes. And I want people to realize you're not just sitting back there enjoying your Prosecco, you're having a cigar, having a good time. Like, you need to pedal. So you press a button and then gives you up the little lift, right? So which is quite nice. So we try to make things very easy for everybody. So here's cycling the Dalmatian coast, for example, another trip that I've done, which I absolutely love. And put it this way, day one, 50 kilometers. That's why this is a level 3 tour, and 10-kilometer uphill before lunch. What? Before lunch? It was the best thing I've done, right? But again, you visit 2 islands, Hvar and Korčula, and then you start in Split, finish in Dubrovnik. For any Game of Thrones fan out there, you know exactly that's King's Landing and so on, but an absolute gem of a place. So this is our second best-selling cycling trip for the entire company for a reason, right? And we go to places that are very different too, right? So India, Peru, even going to Puglia, Matera, or the heel of Italy, the same thing as well. Beautiful UNESCO sites, superb coastlines, and on top of that as well, staying at beautiful maserias or converted farmhouses as well, which is quite nice, right? So at the end of the day, we're just here about giving you a beautiful experience, but this is our #1 selling cycling trip. Vietnam, incredible. What a great place. Going northbound from Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City all the way to Halong Bay, which is nice, right? One day you're doing 100 kilometers, but not uphill. You're doing 20 kilometers uphill, and then you had that high Van Pass right in the middle, 70 to 80 kilometers downhill. Oh, what a superb ride that is, right? So, and then of course, like I said to you, premium trips going to Portugal, of course, and we have some great trips, whether you want, again, 4-star or 3-star, the Baltics or Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, for example, even going to India. Just give you some ideas. And look at this one in Kerala, on this cycling trip, Lisa. That is your home for 2 nights. It's a houseboat. Again, and it's beautiful. It's a nice, comfortable houseboat, ensuite room. So you get your own bathroom. You're not sharing stuff. You're not going over the ledge, nothing like that, right? And of course, going to Jordan and so on, just to give you an idea of, like, we have some trips that are just absolutely, people go cycling there? Yes, they do. Absolutely. And for example, Namibia, something different, right? And we'll talk about that in a bit. So just to recap, active travel, small group, 12 to 16. That Mont Blanc highlights, 8 people. You have a local leader taking you from A to B. So vacation brain on. I just go and explore, enjoy myself, right? And then again, we have everything from active travel to what's coming up soon, soft adventure, right? So maybe you don't like to be told what to do, right? Maybe, hey, you know what? I like making my own plans. I get up at 5 in the morning and I do whatever thing. Then you might as well tune in right now, because this trip's for you. Self-guided. You don't have a guide telling you what to do. You make up your own timeline. But we give you all the notes. We give you that app if you get on a bike, on a cycling trip. And you get to leave whatever time you want. You want to leave at 6 a.m.? Cool. 11 a.m.? Okay. Guess what? What's your job? Get to the next hotel. How do I know where to go? We give you the notes. We give you the app. We give you everything you want. You want to spend an hour at lunch? Okay. You want to pick up a sandwich, a baguette, and make that your day? That's fine. It's your love. Where's the catch? Number one of you two, they say, we don't get many people traveling by themselves on a self-guided trip, mostly couples. One of you two has to take the lead on the map. Okay, it's not just like a guided tour where somebody's like, yeah, oh, go left. No, so fine. And also just leave your luggage downstairs, because we're gonna pick it up for you and transfer it to the next hotel. So that's what the people in the middle are. They're not just 2 random people with luggage here. They pick up your luggage, you just pedal or you walk to the next destination and just enjoy. So we give you all the notes, we give you everything you want, which is quite nice, right? And this is so great too for families, because let's be honest, you have a 3-year-old. What tour can you bring your 3-year-old on? I asked Wikipedia and Jeeves and nobody had given me that answer, right? So we have some trips where you actually can. Look at this one, going to Bavaria, minimum age 1. I know, it's a cycling trip, so you get the little wagon in the back for the kids. And if you do walking tours, we have the little papoose for them so they can be carted around. So here, I'm just gonna show you some of our cycling trips that we have, going to the Danube, for example. These are all self-guided, so you can see here, you pedal, you wanna go fast, you wanna go slow, you wanna move forward, you wanna go slow, like it's your call. We have 24-hour support, and these depart a lot more instead of just every Saturday. They might depart every 2 days, every 5 days, and so on. So you have more flexibility to do a visit to the capital, you know, for example, like Lisbon or Rome for 2-3 days, and then head over to the Prosecco region, for example, right? So, and this one's great because it's also center-based. And I want to show you this because I heard rumors, Lisa, about this Prosecco region. So this is a video that we launched last fall. And this is one of our leaders who won our Tour Leader of the Year last year. So she was voted. She does our Walk in the Prosecco Hills tour, guided, but she wanted to show us this rumor that I heard. I've heard that on the Prosecco region, there's vending machines that give you Prosecco, and it's true. And here it is telling you, like, this is no BS. You drop a couple euro coins and off you go. So again, when you do self-guided, you are in your own timeline. You have the full support. You have people at destination who will sit down with you, showing you the maps and telling you you have nothing to worry about. Going to the Loire Valley. Look at this, 6 trips to choose from. Do you want 3-star hotels or do you want 4- and 5-star hotels? The choice is up to you, depending on what your budget is like. And we have some new trips. For example, we just launched this one last week, Amsterdam to Brussels, and then Brussels to Bruges, which is quite nice. So new that we had to do this map on Google Maps, for example, right? So just to give you an idea, and look at that, look at some of the states that we do. This is our converted farmhouse in the Barolo region. And this is the a little castle, 700-year-old castle we use in Catalonia, Spain. So it depends what you want. It's all about the experiences, right? And of course, gastronomic tours, we do walking. You spend the entire week in the same one hotel and you get to learn everything. And they say, hey, did you say gastronomic? I did. So sit down for 2 hours every evening meal, because otherwise, I don't know what the gastronomic thing means to you, but it's slow cooking and all the food will come from the region. So you see how everyone benefits from our visit. That's what I want to say to you, right? And just to give you some sample notes on what they look like, very descriptive. Hey, you're going here, you're doing this, you're doing awesome. This is the altitude, this is how long it should take you walking or cycling from A to B and so on. So you're always going to be in track. So you have support all the time, right? Which is quite nice. And again, just showing you some random trips here from Switzerland, same one hotel all week long, to heading to Sicily. So what do you want to experience when it comes to active travel? Do you like something that's guided, or do you want something that's self-guided? And we have these ones here called activities, where I don't want to cycle for 5 days. Lisa, I don't. It's too much. Okay, I just want a couple of days. Then look at activities, because you do a couple of days of walking and a couple of days of cycling. So the best of both worlds, right? Which is quite nice. So that's all the active travel, which is quite nice. And this would be great too, because you know you're going to be more socially distant. Let's be honest, right? You're walking, you're cycling. That's, you know, we do have tours that are tandem cycling though. Don't get me wrong. So I mean, if you want to get, you know, 2 people on the same bike, absolutely you can do that. But now we shift gears and we do something, the soft adventure. So these are trips that, you know, I'm trying to talk to a couple of friends of mine to come with me because they're not really active. So cultural trips means you have a local guide showing you the highlights, showing you some of the great things about that country, including the odd, you know, homestay here, the odd experience is what you want. Going to Egypt, beautiful right there. If you see that flight, that means we include the flight between Cairo down to Luxor, for example. So here, 4 nights on land, 4- and 5-star hotels. Yes. And then 4 nights on a 5-star cruise. The best of both worlds when it comes to Egypt, right? One of our best-selling cultural trips by far. And then new trips going to Jordan, Israel, Greece, Sri Lanka, heading to the Amalfi Coast on a highlights trip. Not a walk-in one, a highlights one. So in a van, right? So it depends what you want. We have many cultural trips. And again, food, which massive, massive food one here. So this one here, we have some great food trips, let's say in Vietnam, over to Sicily, and just get ready to eat. That's all I got to say to you, right? And on this one here, we do go to this wonderful town of Trapani, and you have an actual chef that comes in, and you're going to go and spend a good 3 to 4 hours all about cooking. And then guess what? You're going to the market. You're going to go pick up a few things that you don't know how to pronounce, but you're going to, and they're going to come back, cook, prepare for them. So again, experiences, right? That's what adventure means, right? And then of course, responsible wildlife. I was talking about the conservation of the tigers. So this is the kind of the programs that we sponsor, and we've raised about almost $200,000 easily just to conserve that the tigers, because otherwise they become poached and extinct, and nobody wins, right? So we empower the community so they don't poach the tigers. That's the difference, right? Which is quite nice, right? So love to see them. Now, when it comes to wildlife, here's the best thing, Lisa. I want a picture of me riding an elephant, right? Like, no, not on our tours, but me in the sanctuary with the tiger from Instagram. It's not happening. We are responsible wildlife. That's the way to do it, right? So we want to make sure Doesn't matter if it's Komodo dragons or seals or bears or llamas, you name it. We want them to be absolutely responsible wildlife from us, right? So our trips, whether you want to do, we have a couple of trips that does camping all around, few people to select it. The majority of them are hotels and lodges. And then we have the other extreme, which is the glamping or glamorous camping, right? Which is quite nice. So again, in Africa, what do you want to experience? You're going to see the big five, the forgotten five, the ugly five. There's so many different definitions of them out there. But what I will say to you is depends on what you want to experience. So look at that. Look at those properties there. So this is an actual trip. So you don't have to go to Africa to experience. You can go to Costa Rica. 5% of the world's biodiversity is in Costa Rica itself. So from toucans to sloth, 18 hours a day, like our puppies to sleep. Eh? I just got it like last week, right? So wake up. No, anyway, so I'm saying to you is depends on what you want. And again, on that trip is where you go to that rainforest lodge, the one I was telling you about that has saved through 14,000 hectares. So, and for me, I've seen some beautiful, beautiful wildlife, and this is the ultimate, for me, my opinion, of what I've seen. This was going to East Africa and doing the gorilla trekking. Lisa says, can we do a story time right now? So we have a couple options. We do have some hotels and lodges, and then we have one that's full service camping. So you have, and we'll determine what you want to do, right? So just to give you an idea, the hotels are there, pretty nice, right? The camping. So since we operate these tours, we know the best time. If you go to Masai Mara, we tell you, you need to go between August and October. But if you go to the Serengeti, you shouldn't go at the same time. You need to go in January and February. So we tell you when's the best time for the migration and so on, right? So this is what it looked like when I went to the Masai Mara about 4 years ago. And it was the most incredible experience. And I have yet the best experience coming up, but just 2 days of game drives and seeing the big five and all these other fives that I was telling you about. It was superb, seeing the hunt, the lions, like, are they asleep? Cubs sleeping, like the cutest thing I've seen by far, right? But of course, we're going to go see the gorillas. And we did it in Biwindi, which is in Uganda. So I want to show you what the video looks like when people go trekking to go see the gorillas, right? It's absolutely stunning. Now, the thing is, you go and follow one family. So let's say all 8 of us here are going together. We're following family number 1, and then these other people are following family number 2. So we have a guide that pretty much tracks the gorillas, like, okay, they're over here, they're over here. So the family could move an hour. Our trek could be an hour. Our trek could be 3 hours. We're tracking a family. They're not, if they had espresso that night, you know you're gonna be going for a big walk, right? And this was my gorilla experience, and it was superb. So you spent 1 hour with them. So we include the permit to go see chimpanzees and gorillas. And then you have the option to go to a second one as well. So, which is quite nice. So that's by far the greatest hour I've spent in any wildlife experience. What could top this? Probably getting abducted by an alien or something. Who knows, right? But this is it. I absolutely loved it. And again, yes, twins, you know, I'll be DeVito, he can be Arnold, right? And it was so superb to see the wildlife out in Africa, right? And I go closer to home, the Galapagos, we have 14 trips for you to choose from. What do you want? Do you want catamarans? Do you want 14 people? Do you want 32 people? Do you want 16 people? It all depends on the accommodation, but also the itinerary, because you can't just, I want to do this, this, and this. You have to choose an itinerary that's already set. That's the way the Ecuadorian government protects the Galapagos, which I'm so proud to say that, right? So absolute wildlife experiences. Again, like I said, we look at what you've seen so far and heading over to Antarctica as well. So a great promotion as well for anybody heading to Antarctica either this year or next year, which Lisa will share with you a lot more, but you pay in full by the end of March, you get 25% off your entire Antarctica trip. Wow. Which, you know, it's let's be honest, we haven't gone traveling in a while, right? It's been a while since I've tasted airplane food. So people are going to be looking for that one master to-do trip, that list. None of this, I just want to go and just get it for the sake of getting away. That's not happening. People are not doing that. People are going to be more cautious and conscious about where they want to go for that big ultimate trip. So put Antarctica on your radar. Put Antarctica on your radar. So I'm going to say to people, right? So, and when it comes to cruises, we do smaller cruise ships, which is nice. So this one here, heading to the Amazon, we only do 38 people. That's it, on a 5-star, 38 people. So small cruise ship is nice. And of course, heading to the Maldives, that's not a typo. That's 12 people. That's not bad, eh? Snorkeling and diving and seeing the best of the Maldives. So again, it's what we want, right? So other soft adventure styles, I just mentioned these briefly to you. We have family trips. Hey, we're gonna be traveling with our families, most likely, right? So we have, depending on this, we have the self-guided stuff that we talked to you about. And then we also have guided trips where, depending on the kid's age, could be 7, could be 9, could be teenagers. We have different ones for you. Costa Rica, Slovenia, Sri Lanka, Italy, summertime, and some wintertime as well. So it depends what you want. We have a lot of options for you. And guess what? These aren't just all activities during the day for the kids to be happy and the parents stay bored and all of a sudden, I should have brought my Sudoku trip. Why didn't I bring my Sudoku book? It's not like that. We entertain our parents as well. Family trips are literally designed by people that have kids and families, right? And so on. So anyways, that's kind of the other styles. And we have winter, we have mixed activity. I know winter's a tough crowd. We're in Canada, just look outside. But if you want to go snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, we have a lot, or even mixed activity, we have a lot of great options for you. So, and lastly, we have these edits. So what is these Exodus edits? Basically, people between 30 and 49 get their own little trip style where they only get to hang out and travel with people between 30 and 49. So we pack so much into those 5 days, 6 days, 9 days, and so on, from cycling to yoga. I'm like, whoa, you're Exodus. You don't do yoga. I'm like, we do on edits though. Yeah, like I said, yoga to Tai Chi to like cycling to multi-activity, whatever you want. We just pack in for the busy people, busy people between 30 and 49, right? Which is quite nice, right? So that's me talking about trips. That's me, inspiring people about what we're gonna see, what we're gonna do. I will say this, we have this phenomenal dateless first departures, which pretty much means this. We have about 23 trips where you get to call dibs on any of these trips. The minute one of them goes guaranteed, so it's safe to go, the governments have cleared it and so on, you get to go on that trip. So you're saving your spot really, right? And on top of it as well, you get, your deposit of $350. You get that back when you pay full, which is quite nice. So just to give you an idea of some of the trips that fall under these dateless first departures, it's pretty cool. You get a photographer, you get the whole works for that day, just showcasing you're going back to adventure, which is quite good. It's a different concept. You're not choosing a date. The date gets chosen once it becomes guaranteed. So it's pretty different, right? Which is quite nice. And I know what people are thinking, like, yeah, but is it safe to book? Is it safe to travel? Right now, I get it's February, things a little bit different. We can't really do much, but we all know, and look at all the service and everything that's coming out. By this fall, people are going to be starting to hit the airplanes for sure. They're going to start going on these flights. But 2022 is the year where next year, everybody's going to be traveling next year. We know that. So we want you to know you can book with confidence. So Lisa will share all these links with you and tell you this, but guaranteed refund if anything happens in terms of COVID. So book with confidence. But while we're here, we want to make sure that you can travel with confidence, right? So we make sure that the hotels are clean, that everywhere we go, follow a different protocol, because at the end of the day, we want people to feel safe and not regret anything when it comes to us whatsoever, right? So that's kind of everything I need to say today about Exodus. And again, I hope I inspired some people in thinking about what it is that what we want to do. And what I will say is everybody that I've spoken to, from agents to clients to people on the streets, they're all going to be very selective on what they want to do first next year, not just for the sake of getting away, right? So keep adventure travel on your radar. That's it, right?
Well, thank you, Tony. And I just want to say that I've seen the brochures and I've seen the hard copies and online, and it's almost like you've scratched the surface. There's just so much that Exodus does offer.
600 trips in over 100 countries.
Yes. And one of the things that really spoke to me was I love guided tours, but I also have done self-guided as well. And I love the fact that there's that full porterage.
Oh yeah, it takes the hassle away from you, right? So you show up, you drop off your luggage, you take off whatever time you want to take off, and then we'll just drop the luggage off for you. And some trips you don't move either, Lisa. You stay put in the same one hotel. And like I mentioned earlier, if you don't want to do a guided tour and you want to have your own private group, let's say you have some really good family members, or you're part of a walking club or a cycling club, ladies only club, like there's so many clubs nowadays, consider putting together your own private group, because that way as well, look at the itinerary, look what you like, and that way it'll be just you plus your 4 friends, 10 friends, and what have you. And make it privately means you have your own departure, your own guide, and it's quite good. So lots of great advantages. And of course, everybody can get a pretty big saving when it comes to going on a private tour. And I'll send that information to you, Lisa.
Right. And if anyone has any questions about any of the destinations and any of the lodging, that's something I could look into on their behalf and just check it out. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to either put them in the chat or unmute yourself, and Tony will be very happy to answer. But my gosh, that was a lot of amazing information. And some of those destinations I'm looking at going, okay, they're on my to-do list. I know that I don't have a bucket list. I don't believe in a bucket list. I believe in a to-do list, and I put places on. And someplace on my short list is Morocco. I can't believe the number of times I've been to Spain and I haven't been to Morocco. And it's a hop, skip, and a jump.
Just a ferry right away. That's it. It's a ferry right away. And Morocco, believe it or not, in terms of our cultural trips, is one of our best-selling cultural trips by far. Inexpensive, right. To people, inexpensive. Such a great value for you to go to Morocco. Such a great value.
And then also Vietnam, incredibly friendly people, beyond gorgeous. I mean, that's a place where 100% you make sure you've packed a backup memory card. It's ready because you're just going to fill the one you have. It is so spectacular at every turn.
Absolutely. And you know what? For my first Asian experience was Vietnam. And when I showed up, I wanted the experience. Like, I want to feel like the gringo. I want to feel like the foreigner out of place. And Vietnam made me feel like that, because I walked around like, what is happening here? This is so, it comes, and it's an assault on your senses. Everything. The people are so nice, so friendly.
Absolutely.
And the sights and the food, and it's inexpensive as well. And then having things like Weasel coffee. Like, what is that? Just Google it. I'm not going to tell you what to do with that. And snake wine. I mean, but just the traditional stuff that Vietnam. And that's what I love about our trips and this kind of style of travel, right? At least it's like you go and you find out about the culture. You're not being taken to like a factory where you sample something like, okay, it was fun. Take your picture and go home. So what's it made out of? Like, I don't know. I just took the picture and went home. No, we sit down and we listen to a person that does it. And the Con Delta, where you go through these rice paper factories that are somebody's house. Oh yeah, I know. What? It's just those kind of things, right? So really, we need something different. So
I'm long overdue. I haven't been there since 2013.
Yeah, we haven't been on an airplane in a while, but yeah, we all need to. Well, I'm telling you right now, once people feel comfortable and safe, talk to Lisa. It's like, look, have you heard of anybody traveling? I was lucky enough to go on a trip last year during the COVID time, and now obviously things are a bit different. And let me just tell you, once travel comes back, people, it's going to be the best reward we've gotten for sure.
Right. And I just want to make sure I say, Tony Perdomo, thank you for joining me. And also, I just want to mention that Tony put me in touch with Cara from the sister company, and because you touched on Antarctic tour, and we're going to have Quark, sister company, join us for the Arctic on the 19th. It will be spectacular, and we'll hear all about that. But oh my gosh, you've got me thinking of all the places that are on my list I have to get to. Yeah, and it looks spectacular, and again, with the authentic experience. That's key. That's key.
That's the big thing. I'll be honest. Like, we have over 13,000 reviews online, and people just talk about the trip, the immersion, the people, the guides. And when you go home, let's be honest, right? Like, sure, our trips are not an all-inclusive style in terms of price, but 5 years from now, when you look back at your pictures, your memories of you with the gorillas, you in Galapagos, you doing the Inca Trail, and what have you. Versus 5 years from now, like, I think we went to the Dominican that year. I'm not sure. It's the different usage of words that you're using, right? So, but again, experiences in the long run, the money won't matter. The memories will be there. The money won't matter. So we know this now that we haven't been able to go on a flight in a while, right? So any questions out there by anybody? Lisa, anybody asking some fun stuff?
No, I've got a couple of thank yous coming your way.
Thank you so much.
Everything, but again, I have access to all that Exodus has to offer, and I want to thank everyone again for taking time out in your day for joining us, and thank you so much, Tony. This has been wonderful, and I hope we can do it sometime soon. Hopefully.
Absolutely. Hopefully too as well. But yeah, it's been really nice having me here. Thank you so much. And again, I love what I do. And sometimes people hate me because I was only thinking one country, and now you showed me this, and now I have to write more stuff. So I'm sorry, everybody. I really am sorry.
No, there was just so much. There's so much more. There's so much more. So thank you, everyone. Have a lovely, lovely Friday, and we'll see you back on the 19th. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy yourselves. Bye.
Well, thank you so much.